Hello again, this is Loralie coming to you from my creative corner here at LoralieDesigns.com. And today I would like to show you my newest fabric collection from Quilting Treasures, which is just now being delivered to stores all over the country and is also available on my website. Now some of you may know that a few years ago, 4 to be exact, I did a collection called On the Mend. And this is that collection. It was a breast cancer theme, and it was done in pinks and greens and very pastel-y. So that's been 4 years, and Quilting Treasures asked if I would do another collection for them in the same theme, which I was happy to do, and this is the result. I call it Still. Now what I've done is turned up the color on this idea. Instead of the pastel shades, I've gone to, well, let me read you. Every time I do a new collection, I write a designer's statement to try to get my idea across, and this is a short statement regarding this collection. May this special collection in the colors of our favorite things, roses, raspberries, cherries, valentines, and lipstick, convey a sweet message of beauty, humor, and encouragement to still carry on through life's most challenging experiences. So that is the idea of this collection. I'm very proud of it as I love the colors, and it's a little, I would say, more sophisticated than the original On the Mend group. And this is a very elaborate, even though it has 17 patterns, but only 2 of them are theme specific. So there's an assortment of wonderful dots, stripes, paisleys, hearts. There's a confetti pattern, a wonderful floral, which I think is my favorite. And so there are 2 themed patterns. One is the panel, and one is this cute novelty tossed, which is called Busts and Buds, because it's the ladies in a bust form with all their bandanas and hats and so on. So in the panel, I will show you what the meaning of the word still is for this collection. Now these are enlargements. They won't be this large on your panel, but I blew them up to show them on this video. For instance, this one, she's clutching her precious fabric, and this is called Still Creative. Here we have Still Busy. Of course, they're stitching and knitting, and this is one of my favorite blocks. I was going to say the panel has 21 random blocks, so it's not a grid, it's very random, and they're wonderful shapes that you can use to do all kinds of projects. Bags, cards, of course quilts and wall hangings and all sorts of things. And this is one of my favorites. It's a blank so that you might embroider or write something wonderful in there like I love you, hang in there, that sort of thing. And then here we have a fun block called Still Having Fun. And of course no one would have a clue, they're in their bathing caps. This is another of these more generic blocks that can be used to make cards and do different things like that. This one is called Still Stylish. It's a couple ladies stepping out in really high style there, in spite of the fact that I wanted to say this was a real challenge for me not to be able to do eyelashes and hair, because those are my favorite things to do, and especially to make a girl look real girly. So this is a real challenge, but I just threw on the fashion, layers and layers of fashion and flowers and hats and such. This one is called Still Calm. And this one, which shows 5 different bust ladies in their different hair arrangements here and their hats, and it's called Still Options. Just a tad of humor there. And this is called Still Shapely. Yes, sometimes we get a little more shape going through this experience. And this one, of course, is called Still Together, for those supportive friends and those loved ones who stick by you through this experience. So that's about the panel and the tossed version of the fabric. It's a wonderful collection, and I hope that you will enjoy making things with it. Now I have a couple of other things I will show you that can coordinate and go with this. This collection does not have its own embroidery collection, and so what I suggest is to use the On the Mend collection, which is the same idea and the very same look of the ladies, and recolor them if you'd like to incorporate your embroidery into your projects with this fabric. Recolor them in the colors, in the still colors, and immediately you have a brand new girl and a whole new environment in the same colors. This one is called Occupied, and you know she was pink and very sweet and everything, but now she's a little more grown up. It's 4 years later, you know. And this one, of course, this is Comeback. And she was very, let's see, here she is in the pink, so you can see the difference and what a difference a few colors make. Interestingly, and I take it as a compliment, my son commented that this looked like me when I was coming back. And she hasn't changed a bit in all these 4 years. And this one, of course, is called Sister. And she was very pink and pale, and now she's very bright and rich, and those good warm colors of raspberry, roses, hearts, all those wonderful things. So that would be my suggestion on the embroidery. And then, of course, I have my new love with me, which is art stamps. And of course, these are simple. This is a simple rubber stamp that you can stamp the image of the ladies, and then I use markers, and these are the colors. There's a simple palette of wonderful rose and green shades that will make this collection happen like this. And there are several stamps that coordinate with this collection. Of course, these are the original On the Mend ladies. This is Comeback. And the wonderful thing about stamps, of course, is that you can make them any color, and make them into anybody you like. Here we have Sister, and here we have Occupied. So you can see the difference. They really come out differently in the darker shades. And this, of course, is called the Still Flower. And I love this flower. This is just one of my favorites. And I took it from the floral pattern, which I told you before was one of my favorites. It's right here, this one right here, so that you can make wonderful cards. And by the way, I would say another way use for this, here's what I'm wanting to do, is to make napkins out of this wonderful stripe and maybe a table runner out of this. How about that? I think that would be very nice. So I will show you some cards that I have made using the Loralie art stamps, and in particular, this is a pretty flower card made with the still flower. I hope you can see that. And here we have the Comeback in her original outfit, and then here we have Comeback in her updated outfit, which don't you think is just a little more sophisticated, if you can be sophisticated in this condition. It's a challenge. And then I have Sister here again. And these are fun cards that I have stamped the image and colored, and then I have enlarged these. The stamp is actually about 4.5 inches tall, and I don't like to work that small, but they come in a way that you can make them for a 4x6 standard size invitation card. And then I've put another piece of paper on the back to make it pretty, and I've cut out the edge to make it interesting. When I was a little girl, I just loved those die-cut cards with the frilly girls and maybe the princesses on them with the dresses kind of cut out, and I still go back there with my card making. This is that pretty plain block. This would be a 5x7. That could be a simple note card for any occasion. And another thing you can do, of course, is if you make a wonderful project for someone in the fabrics, you can give it to them with a coordinating card and just carry the idea all the way through. This is that blank one that I like so much, and of course it's a 4.5. It is a 4 by 9.25, which is a standard size envelope, so that you can attach that to paper. Just cut it out carefully and stick that on paper, and you have a beautiful card. Now this one is paper, which was made from the stamp, but the fabric creates this wonderful feeling card, very rich and special to the recipient. And I just might add here that anything that you color, of course, you can bring anything into this collection idea just by adjusting the colors. And this is my stamp Lazy Fairy, which I've shown you before, and I've just recolored her in the pinks and roses that are from the Still collection. So if your friend is maybe going through this and is a fairy nut, you could really please her with one of these. So I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation of my new fabric collection. and that you will run out and buy a whole bunch and enjoy using that for yourself or for others in your life. So thanks for coming again, and I'll see you next time here at Loralie Designs Creative Corner.